What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 22nd day of September, and here we are sitting at about $0.00375 with the low at $0.0036 today. Seeing a bit of a dump across the board, not just for Zebec, but for all of crypto, really. I mean, we look at this today. The only thing green is Omni. Omni is the only one that's green today. I actually wonder how green is Omni. I don't want to pull it up. Maybe I can pull it up on this one just in case it glitches out. Let's see. I know that it's up 8%, but yeah, I was wondering if we had a wick up. That's what I was looking for. Anyways, just out of my own curiosity. ZBCN, again, we're not expecting that we go below this low. I think we were expecting that we'd see some kind of further drop here from a low to a high. The fact that he went below the golden ratio is a bit, I wouldn't say alarming, but it's a bit intense, let's just say. You did come all the way down to the 886, and typically, not a financial advisor, but typically, that was not the 886. You actually went a little bit below the 886. Typically, whenever you see support of the 886, you do one of two things. You go either to the golden ratio or to the 0.5. It'd be more beneficial to go to the 0.5 if you want to provide the idea that you're not going lower. If we do go up to the golden ratio and we find resistance there and we come back down, it'd be very, very likely that we do go lower. And the lower area intended would be about 0.0033 to 0.00302, 0.00309, if I remember correctly from the relative low to high. Let's see. Low, high. Yeah, the golden ratio there. Well encapsulates the primary target zone of this fib. Golden ratio of this fib here, I think it's going to be more significant, let's just say. So that would be the target area if we go back up to about 0.0039 and then come back down here. If we reject the golden ratio and come back down, that'd be the target area. If we go up to the 0.5, we find support at the golden ratio, and we move up, likely this is the low. If we find resistance at the 0.5, we come back below the golden ratio on a daily closing basis, and we come back to these areas or lower, we're likely going to go down to this area. Okay, so there's a few different ways to look at this. As of now, again, I'm not convinced that we do go below this low. I feel pretty confident in calling for this to be the low. I didn't think we'd get it so soon, but it does depend on a couple of things, you know. Maybe I shouldn't so confidently call on this. We are waiting to see how Bitcoin reacts today. If Bitcoin doesn't hold this area of support, if this doesn't prove to be some kind of flash crash, if we do persist lower, it's very possible then that ZBCN goes lower as well, right? If the whole market is taking a bit of a bath, ZBCN is probably going to get washed with it, and that's okay. That happens. It is weird. I would say that it would be pretty damn weird that you saw this kind of a movement here and you're going lower, but whatever. It can happen. Mainly because it's like you found resistance at your prior support here time and time again, but then you moved up, then you started, it's so weird. It is so weird, but maybe it happens. Maybe we do go lower, and if it does go lower, 0.0033 to 0.00309 is where we're going to go, okay? Again, it's very, very possible that Bitcoin here does find support, that this is a flash crash, and then by the end of the day, we're all the way back up here, or maybe by the end of tomorrow, we're all the way back up here. If we get back to 114.5K by the end of today or tomorrow or higher, it's a flash crash. We're moving up higher immediately. Okay, that was it. That's all she wrote, and now we're moving up higher. Sometimes we get these right before we do move higher. At the end of the day, a close up here at 114.5K or higher would just then look like we wicked down to find support at prior resistance, and we had massive support come in, moving up. It'd be a good look, actually. So with that, we get that kind of reaction in Bitcoin. This would provide that this is the low. If we don't get that kind of reaction, it's very possible ZBCN does go lower. It's all in the balance. There is that third option, which is a lot less likely, but it could happen. Zebec could find its low here, and Bitcoin continues to go lower. It could happen, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. All in all, at the moment, I'm going to call for this to be the low, at the cost of me potentially being wrong, but again, with a serious air of caution to just be aware of what Bitcoin's doing as well, okay? Looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, the RSI is consolidating below the 50. Stochastics are coming back up. The MACD is looking all right as well. I mean, it's bearish, don't get me wrong, but you're crossed back up here. I I guess it doesn't look that good. To be completely fair, the MACD doesn't look good, but it's the 1 hour time frame. Stochastics look good. They're coming up. The RSI rejecting the 50 is not good, so it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I would say we're in a posturing where we could move up higher. We're just probably waiting on Bitcoin. 4 hour time frame here, bouncing off the oversold area. That's nice. The MACD does look bearish overall, but what's nice about this is you've been very, very red for a while. You got to think that you would turn green at some point. You can't stay red forever. There's no rule against it. I guess you could stay red forever, but it's probably not going to happen. Plus, with the RSI here like this, I think you look like you're in a really good positioning here, good posturing there. What's taking the stochastics so long? There we go. I just had to say something. And we're crossed up with the stochastics. The 4 hour does make me think that this is the low, but time will tell. We have 1 hour and 56 minutes left in this time. Let's just see how it goes, okay? Daily time frame here. The RSI is at the 40. We've bounced off this area before. We've bounced off this area before. We've bounced off this area before. A little bit lower both of these times. Held it as support back here. Right there. Kind of in this area. You definitely like to bounce off this area. So I want to wait and see what happens with ZBCN. I'm pretty confident that this is the low. I'm very confident that we don't go lower, but anything could happen. Hold on, guys. I got a cold. I already have a raspy throat in the mornings, man, but I got a cold. It definitely doesn't make things better. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. I very much would expect that we have some kind of double bottom going on, and if it is a double bottom, if we do move up higher like this, we're going to have a very nice W shape overall, and I think that would be extra bullish. It'd be that kind of cherry on top to this move that we're going to have here. I very much believe that when we move higher, whether we move higher now or we move lower first and then we move higher, however it looks, right? Are we going to do this? Are we going to go down and then are we going to go up? The move down is very insignificant. The move higher is going to be very significant, okay? I very much believe that when it comes time to moving higher, and we break above this level here, that's when the pace is going to pick up. By the end of the month, which at this point is right here, right? I don't know at this point if we're going to be all the way up here by the end of the month. Perhaps what we do is by the end of the month, we're back up above here. Perhaps going into October, we're just kind of meandering our way up, doing our thing, and then it'll be the end of October that we really start to rally. Maybe that's what it is. Because at this point in time, it definitely doesn't seem like we're rallying going into the end of the month of September. But again, provided that this is a flash crash, provided that we eat this back immediately and we start to reverse the other direction immediately, a lot can change in a very short amount of time. But short of something like that happening, it's very possible that we're not above this point until sometime in October. And once we get above this point, the reason why we're focusing on this right now, this 006 level, is because once you're above there, that effectively unleashes the beast, the floodgates open, and you'll see this thing increase at a rapid rate, as it did before back here in April and May. You'll see the pace pick up a lot, and I would assume that where we're going ultimately is that 3 cent to 4.5 cent zone. I don't need to explain it. You guys already know why I think it's going to go there. But I do get new subscribers making these videos every single day, so there probably is somebody who's new watching this. Let me just explain it for you, okay? 2 cents is the true minimum target, okay? That's the 1,886,200 level. After that, those 3 cents to 4.5 cents, and it's very difficult to get above your 2,618, okay? That's why this is kind of the top here. Could you go higher? Sure. And will you go higher? Yes. Inevitably, in time, you will go higher than that. But for this next move, which I think will be by the end of October, if not early November, I believe that you're going to stop either somewhere here or somewhere here. And my personal area that I'm expecting is this 3 cent to 4.5 cent area. Okay, that's the expectation. The reason why, beyond just using the fibs, is that if we take a low to high here, and you put this, at the base of this move here, that takes you just above the 200 level. I very much do believe that you are going to see a bigger move overall from this low to the high. And if we put it to this area here, where your move technically will start, right? Because we're measuring here, this is your overall move right here. That's where it started. If we put it right here where the move starts, it puts you right in the heart of this zone as well. So something that would at least be above the minimum zone makes sense to me. It would be above this minimum zone here. Would likely imply that we go higher. And if we take that same kind of movement, we put it here, then by the end of November, or by the beginning of November, you should be up in this area as well, right in the heart of that zone. anywhere between 3 cents, 4.5 cents. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this move was bigger than the last move, because what you have here is a very large accumulation phase after a very large dump. And whenever you move up like this is what they call an impulsive move. It's an impulsive wave count. So you have wave 1 is bullish, wave 2 is your consolidation phase, wave 3 will also be an impulsive wave count, and typically with wave 3, impulsive waves, right? You go so 1, 2, 3. Wave 3 is typically the biggest one. Typically, right? The way that I have it drawn here would be the biggest one. Wave 1 is typically not the biggest, and actually, most of the time, wave 1 is the smallest. So, as crazy as it might sound, this might be the smallest move of the moves to come between now and the end of the cycle, right? And I would expect that that lines up specifically with that 3 cent to 4.5 cent zone. If we're not there by the end of October, beginning of November, then certainly by the end of the year. But I would expect going into October, I would expect in the earliest part of October, if not the end of September here, we are seeing prices above this high. We are commencing this next move up. Okay. I got nothing else. Hit the like button. Let's wait and see how this thing plays out. You know, I'm not completely convinced that we're at the low point here for Bitcoin. I am somewhat anticipating that we could go lower. But at the same time, you know, if by the end of the day we're back up, it's very possible that this is just a flash crash and we're moving up higher, which would be nice to see as well. So time will tell. We'll see how it goes. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye.